What were the risks of using 1950s data processing? Have you ever wondered what it was like to work with data processing in the 1950s? This was a time when technology was just beginning to change the way businesses operated. However, using data processing during this era came with its own set of challenges. Let's take a closer look at the risks involved. In the 1950s, data processing was still a new field. Companies relied on early computers like the International Business Machines 650 and Universal Automatic Computer Machines. While these machines were impressive, they were also complex and inflexible. Programming was not straightforward. Each company often had to create custom code since standard software packages were rare. This made the process slow and increased the chances of errors, especially when dealing with unique data entry situations. Storage was another significant issue. Data was typically kept on punched cards or magnetic tapes. These storage methods had very limited capacity and could only be accessed in a sequential manner. This meant that if a company needed to process a large job, it had to run many programs one after the other. This not only slowed things down but also raised the risk of mistakes occurring during the process. Data loss was a real concern as well. The early storage media were fragile and could easily be damaged. If data was lost or corrupted, recovering it was often a difficult task. Specialized knowledge and equipment were needed, and sometimes that expertise was not available. If a company lost important data, it could be nearly impossible to get it back, especially as technology evolved and older formats became obsolete. Security and privacy were also significant risks. Storing sensitive information electronically raised questions about data control. At that time, there were minimal safeguards to protect data from unauthorized access. This created risks around confidentiality, especially for personal or corporate information. Lastly, the costs of operating early data processing systems were high. Companies needed to invest in hardware, hire specialized staff, and maintain the systems. The complexity of programming and the need for custom solutions made it hard to adapt quickly to new requirements. Despite these challenges, the 1950s were a fascinating time for technology. Data processing departments had to be meticulous and patient. They often ran multiple programs in sequence to complete a single job, relying heavily on physical media like punched cards. The risks were part of the excitement of working with cutting-edge technology. The limitations of these early systems highlighted the marvel of automating tasks like payroll or inventory management. In the end, while there were many risks associated with data processing in the 1950s, these early efforts laid the groundwork for the more advanced systems we use today.